Well, hello. We have a TechBiz tutorial. We're using some 3D Builder today, um, and we're going to make a simple minimalist kind of version from the latest of a robot. Of a droid from the latest Star Wars movie. The adorable robot D-0. No, thank you. No, thank you. You all know the one. It rides down around on a wheel. So with this, this could be maybe a 3D model you could make for a game or something, or you could print it out on a 3D printer. Probably you may have to use it in a couple parts. I'm just going to make it just for something for kind of fun to do on a boring evening. So here we go. 3D Builder I'm using. You can download this for free from the Microsoft Windows Store. It's should already come pre-installed with Windows 10, but you can update it, install it, whatever, for free online for you PC users out there. So let's go. Let's get started. New scene. Okay. So hopefully as you watch this, you will kind of get an idea of how to use 3D Builder and also how to do this. So it's kind of a watch this thing be built type of thing, and also learn a little bit about 3D Builder. So I went to insert and cylinder. I'm going to start with the wheel, obviously, and I want to use the scale tool, and I'm going to shrink this thing down. I don't know how wide I want to go. Maybe if I go into this Z and I type in 15's a little wider than I want. Let's try 10. That should work. Alright. Step 1. Cylinder complete. Alright, so I have this selected, and now I want to go to my rotating tool. And pitch, I'm going to go 90. Solid. Looks like a wheel. Alright. So this here is kind of where we'll start. We can always resize this later. Right now I'm just kind of eyeballing it a little bit, you know. Alright, that looks pretty good. Now what I want to do is there are some like green lines that go around the wheel. I'm not going to go super detailed with this, but there's a few things, you know, that I think would be kind of good so to follow. So I'm going to do that. So I have this selected. Alright, and then let's go to edit and split, and I want to change the angle of this split. Have that pitch be 90, and I actually want to keep both up here. I'm going to select keep both. Alright, and yeah, we'll go about that deep, I suppose. Maybe we could bring it out even a little bit more. If I click on this plane, on the split plane here, you can choose how far in you go. Maybe I'll go -4. Yeah, that'll be fine. Alright, and then I'm going to click split. Alright, now let's kind of paint this as we go along. So I have this middle cylinder selected, and I want to choose for the color, I'm just going to go white. Alright, and then I'm going to select this one out here. I'm going to choose this color. And I'm just selecting these default colors because I don't want to mess around too much. You know, I can always go back and choose a different color later if I wanted to, but for now this is good enough. Alright, so we got that selected. I'm going to select this edge now, and I'm going to do the old Control CV, Control to copy, Control V to paste. And I have this cylinder over here selected now, and I want to bring this over, and it kind of snaps into place on the wheel. Yeah, it looks pretty good. All right, now let's continue on here. Uh, the wheel of this kind of, we could go with a cone. Yeah, I think that would probably be the best way. And if I select the cone, bring it out this way, and if I rotate the cone to the pitch of 90, kind of like we did with the other side. Alright, and then let's snap this over into place, and then I want to probably do this split again. Make the pitch of this go to 90. And maybe bring this to, I don't know, about right here, I think. I think that'll be fine. Maybe not quite that close. Let's try 18. Okay, yeah, I don't like that. Let's try 10. Oh, no. Wrong direction. Let's maybe try 20. Well, I can't get it. I don't know. 18.7 or 18.57. Alright, good enough. Alright, now this one, I shouldn't have said select both or keep both. So I'm going to select the tip of the cone and I'm going to erase that. Alright, now the cone here, I want to change the color to this. And the color of this one is going to currently be white. That should work. And then we can go here to this, and I think I want to actually split this already split cone. Okay, so if we go to edit and we go to split and we change the pitch to 90, and this time I want to bring this out, you know, not too far. About right here, I suppose. It says negative 0.29, and I'm going to select split, and then I want to split that one more time, but this time I'm just going to split this direction, and I do want to keep both parts on the last one and this one. Okay, so I'm going to click split. Perfect. Let me actually undo that and Control D to deselect. I just want to split the very edge of this on here, so I Control Z or went up to this undo. Sorry about that. Alright, and this bottom part here, I think I'm going to paint that one, color it, and use green. Alright, because he kind of has like that two color wheel, pretty sure. Alright, so we got that done. That looks pretty good. And now we can select, I'm going to select all three of those. I don't have to shift click those or anything. I can just click on them and it selects them all. So I got that. I'm going to Control C to copy. I'm going to Control V to paste. And then I want to go up here to edit, and actually I could just go here to rotate I'm going to give this a yaw of 180. Then use the move tool to slide that into place on there. Alright. Hey, that kind of looks like a D-0 wheel. Alright. So that part looks pretty good, I think. Let's look at the next part. So there should be a little platform on here, I think. And D-0's platform that his head fits on, it's kind of like a two-parter, I think. So I want to go insert, and I'm going to put on a cube on here. That should look pretty good. And then I'm going to go to our scale, and I'm going to rotate this down and maybe try, I clicked the lock here to kind of scale it this way. And I guess I probably I'm going to move this to where, you know, it's kind of centered there in both directions. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Again, I'm just kind of eyeballing it, not really being too scientific about my measurements here like I should be. That's all right. This is for playing around and experimenting around a little bit. Alright, and if you want, you can Control A to select all, and then you can go to View and Center View, and then it'll center the view now that we've added this other piece on here. So this thing here, it's kind of being a pain. It keeps snapping into place, so I just wanted to zoom in a little bit and snap that onto there. Alright, now I'm going to use my scale tool, and I'm going to unlock the perspective part of it, and make it be about this tall. I think that looks pretty good. And I can go to Object and Edit, and actually, now I want to go to Paint, Color. Let's color it white. Alright. And here is this portion of the shelf that the head goes on. Alright, now what I think we can do is, let's see, if I copy and paste this, and then I'm going to bring it right up over the top of this, and I'm going to scale this down. I'm going to lock the scale part of it and make it a little smaller, okay? And then I'm going to bring this centered onto that. I think that looks pretty good. And then if I go to paint, I'm going to make the color of that just be black. I can always rechange the shape of that part later as well. Alright, so now let's see, I think we can add probably two more spheres, or two more cylinders I should say, not spheres. Okay, so I'm going to bring this here. I want to scale this down and then rotate it to be the pitch of 90, and I'll bring it here to where it's centered on the side here of our wheel. And then I'm going to scale this, but I'm going to unlock the aspect ratio or whatever, and I want to probably bring it out about this far. That's pretty good. Alright, and the color of that, I'm gonna go with gray. Alright, cool. Oh, I didn't get it all the way flush against the wheel there. There we go. That's better. Alright, so that part looks pretty good. Then I can copy and paste that and bring it straight up, and I can lock that up and scale it down. And kind of get it onto here. I don't really know what size to make that, to be honest. I'm just gonna kind of guess here a little bit, but I am gonna bring this out. Oops. Undo, unlock that. All right, there we go, and kind of bring it to where it looks like it's about as far out as this one is down here, just so that they kind of match up a little bit, I think. Alright, that looks pretty good. And then I don't know, we can we could do this a couple different ways. Alright, I'm going to try here. I'm going to make a cube. This isn't going to be like an exact replica, obviously. Alright, and lock this up. And I think we could probably have this be about that size. Alright, and then let's bring this up here kind of to the object, to the kind of hub of the center part of that wheel. And now what I want to do is stretch this up to where it goes up most of the directions, and I'm going to go into here about like that. Let's see how this looks. Alright, so this here, it's flush with that. I can look up here now and I can see with this hub on the upper part, I can kind of adjust that now to where they match each other very closely. And maybe too, I could make this be a little bit wider this way. Then I'm going to copy that and paste it and move this one to the right. But this one here, I think I'm going to make it be a little bit more narrow, like so. Alright, and then these here, probably color them, I'm going to go gray. And there we go. It's looking pretty good. Alright. So now we have the cone again, adding another cone here. And let's move this cone here and put the angle here at the roll for this to be 90. And I think that'll work good. If I have the cone selected and go to edit and split, put the roll of that for 90. And he's got like a, kind of almost like a volcano type of a front. So I'll keep the bottom for that. That should be fine. But then what I'm going to do here is go to edit and split again. And once more have this roll be 90. This time I'm going to keep both. And I'm going to select this right about here because it's not so much on Dio's head, it's not so much of a, you know, the slope is more gradual. So I'm going to select that and go split. Alright, and actually this part I'm going to erase. And now if I select and scale and have this unlocked for the head, I can bring this out a little bit more. And that kind of seems like it would be a little bit better. Now I probably should scale this, I suppose, and make it wider. And I should actually try to move this up here where it would actually set. And try to get it kind of positioned on there as good as possible. Alright, I think that would probably be okay. Maybe just, I don't know, maybe make it a bit bigger. Maybe not quite that big, but I could unlock that and then let's see how this looks. It's kind of big, but I think we can probably make that work. Let's see. All right, I'm going to bring this forward just a little bit more. And then I do want to go up to split and then bring the roll to 90, keep both, and head up here. Alright, and then split that. Then here we can paint these two objects. We'll paint the edge of it there, that green color. Alright, looks good, and then we'll paint the back part of it white. Alright, so here we have that kind of set. Okay, that looks decent. And then we could also, if I'm not mistaken, let's see. I don't know if this is the best way to do this, but I'm going to bring a cylinder here. Alright, and then I'm going to flatten the cylinder. Now this probably isn't the best way to do this, but it'll be okay, I think. Alright, and then I can paint this cylinder black. Bring the third one here, and bring this one here, just so that they're pretty even with each other, I think. Alright. So we have these 3 parts here. We will need to, I guess, select all 3 of these and probably shrink them down a little bit and bring them in a little closer, I think. Okay, and then moving all 3 together. Let's see if we can get the 3 of these kind of centered to this. Alright, so the first one here, we have that one centered. I'm going to bring the one on the left a little closer, and then the one on the right. And do the same with it. And then we can select these 3 again. And if we kind of shorten that a little bit, bring this back here a little bit. And I'm going to put this in at a little bit of an angle so that it kind of matches so that it's going in at the same angle as the cone. Okay, and then I can probably bring this back. Bring this down a little bit. Alright. So I have those 3 objects selected. Okay. Now what I want to do is go to Edit. Oh, okay. Alright, so let's try this. Let's try selecting one of these. And then I'm going to press Subtract. Okay, and then it... that went a little bit deeper than I wanted it to. So I'm going to undo that. And I'm going to... And I'm going to select those 3 objects and kind of bring... Gosh, man, what the heck? Alright, now let's try it and see how this works now. Alright, selecting the first one, go to Subtract. And that looks a little bit better. It's still kind of deep in there, but you get the idea. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why this is bothering me, but it is. Okay, so I'm gonna bring this up. Center the view on that. Zoom in. Alright. It's a little better. Okay, so I got that one in. Alright, I have the second object here, subtract. The third one here, and subtract. And we have kind of those head rudders there on D-0. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna also go ahead here and split the back cone, just the end of it. And I want to change the color of the very back to black also. And let's make our antennas, and then I think we will be pretty much just about done, I guess. Alright, so we'll go here to Insert and Cylinder. and scale it down really small. Oops. And we'll bring this here to the back. Alright. And we can switch the direction of that to 90. Yeah, about that size, I think. And let's see, we can actually paint that. I'm going to make that black. Could have gone gray too, I suppose. Let's go gray just to switch it up a little bit. Alright. And then I'm going to bring that right flush to the edge there. And oops, unlock the edge. Kind of bring that out on there. Yeah, I think that'll be kind of decent. And then we can go insert a sphere. And we'll bring the sphere, let's lock it down to a small size. Alright, and I'm going to center my view again on the back of this so I can actually see this. Alright, and here we go. We can bring this closer to the antenna. Get it kind of back there. So give it kind of a little bit of a cartoony type antenna on there. And we can paint that, I don't know, same color I guess for the antenna. Alright, so let's copy those. And we'll paste those. And then we'll move this second part. Back to here. Now as I look at this, it's not centered. Yeah, here we go. Decent. Okay. So if I select these parts, and I wanted to save this part for last because otherwise it was going to be hard to move everything else, but having those selected, I can kind of move this down a little bit now. You know, and then move it forward. Alright, and here we go. That's it. That's our D-0 robot. Pretty simple, pretty minimalist with this. If you ever wanted to, you can actually select these parts and you can go to paint and you can choose like a texture, or you could choose material, you know, and like actually go with metallic type of colors, you know, and kind of play around with those, and you can get those reflections and that kind of thing in there and make it look as realistic as you want, and make textures that make it look like it's like the actual D-0 kind of had some wear and tear on the robot. But I think this looks pretty good. One last touch, maybe select this black portion and unlock it, and then bring this up into the head to hide that other stuff. But you could 3D print that. You can make it, you know, into a little desk piece or something, or make a loop in the top, turn it into a Christmas tree ornament, or you know, use it for whatever, augmented reality, have a little D-0 in a photograph you take or whatever, but not too bad. If you are done and you're happy with it, you could save as, and you could save it as a few different files. So the 3MF file that is on here is your project file that you can go back and you can edit this at any time using 3D Builder. If you want to export it to something or have it made for G-code for a 3D printer, you would have to save it as a .obj or a .stl or whatever the other file is. But OBJs are used by a lot of them. But so when you save these, make sure you have them saved as multiple types, because if it's as the 3D Builder file, you know, I'd want to be able to go in and change the colors, and if I change it to another version of it, to the OBJ for example, it'll make the whole thing one shape, one solid shape. So play around with it, see what other kind of simple robot type creations you can make with this, and share them in the discussions or whatever. And thanks for watching. Hopefully you learned a few cool tips for this neat 3D Builder program with Windows 10, and learned a few things, and hopefully you had a little fun. Thanks for watching.